Here's what nobody tells you because they're scared. Your value is already decided before you speak. Your posture decides it. Your tone decides it. Your boundaries decide it. Then your results confirm it. Call it cruel if you want. It stays true anyway. Machiavelli understood the algorithm before algorithms existed. People reward what they can't ignore. You're either valuable on contact or instantly replaceable. That's the rule. You keep walking into the war zone unarmored. No shield, no blade, just a smile and a hope. But power doesn't reward hope. Power rewards leverage. And leverage begins with one brutal move. You cut supply. You stop flooding the market with your attention. You stop handing out access like rations to enemies. You make your presence a controlled drop, not an open pipeline. Good. Now we begin. You are not undervalued because you lack worth. You are undervalued because you leak access. You're a faucet stuck on, a free sample with legs, and free things get treated like trash. Machiavelli gives you the cold blueprint. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false. That's not poetry. That's field intelligence. You ignore it and you get eaten. You want to feel chosen, so you stay available. You answer fast. You show up early. You say yes before they finish speaking. And you call it dedication. It's submission. Do this now. Count to 3. Watch what happens. Delay your replies. Decline one invitation this week without explanation. Stop volunteering your labor to buy approval. Restrict your calendar like it's classified material. Make them earn proximity. You fear they'll leave. Good. Let the weak exit. Let the predators reveal themselves. You feel the tension rising already, don't you? That tension is value forming under pressure. Next, you learn to weaponize silence, like a scalpel. You speak to reduce anxiety. You talk to prove innocence. You explain to avoid rejection. That is the voice of prey. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a loaded chamber. Silence forces projection, and projection exposes motives. Machiavelli's logic is surgical. He who knows best how to deceive will succeed best. So you stop handing them your internal map. Here's cognitive dissonance in real time. When you stay calm while they provoke, their brain panics. They can't reconcile your stillness with their attack, so they escalate. And escalation reveals character. Execute. When they test you, don't answer immediately. Hold eye contact. Let the silence stretch like a blade. Ask one question instead of giving one explanation. Say, "What makes you say that?" Then stop. Let them hang themselves with extra words. Ask yourself this question. When you talk too much, who benefits? You or the hyena collecting your tells? Next, you stop chasing charisma. You become dangerous through competence. You want status without proof. You want applause without casualties. That is fantasy. Real value is earned in blood hours, when nobody claps. Charisma is perfume. Competence is a weapon, and weapons change negotiations. Machiavelli's warning is blunt. It is much safer to be feared than loved. Modern translation, respect beats popularity every time. So you pick one skill with market gravity. One, not 7 hobbies, not potential. A single spear. Sharpen it until it punctures steel. Do not negotiate with yourself. Choose one high-leverage skill. Sales, coding, editing, negotiation, fitness coaching. Block 60 minutes daily. Non-negotiable. Track reps like ammunition. Publish proof weekly. Force public accountability. Your results become your armor. You keep waiting to feel ready, right? That's fear dressed as patience. Predators don't wait for confidence. They take ground, then build fortifications. Next, you remove the real weakness, your emotional leakage. Your emotions are not truth. They are signals, and signals can be intercepted. Every time you snap, beg, over-explain, or sulk, you broadcast your controls. You teach people exactly where to press. Machiavelli's principle is governance. If you cannot rule yourself, you get ruled. This is shadow integration. You stop pretending you're only good. You accept the wolf inside you, and you chain it to discipline. Not repression, integration. You become civilized predator. Operate like a field medic. Label the emotion instantly. Anger, need, fear. Then delay action by 10 seconds. Breathe low, drop your shoulders, slow your voice. Your body becomes your command center. Refuse to argue when adrenaline spikes. End the exchange. We'll revisit this later. Walk away. Why do you keep giving people the satisfaction of your reaction? Why do you keep paying them with your peace? Next, you learn the deadliest currency, information asymmetry. You live like an open book. You confess goals. You vent frustrations. You reveal timelines. You leak your strategy to anyone with ears. That is not honesty. That is tactical stupidity. Information asymmetry means you know more than they do, and they don't even realize it. That's how foxes beat lions. The lion has muscle. The fox has angles. Machiavelli practically hands you the playbook. A prudent man should always follow in the path trodden by great men. Great men don't overshare. They scout. They probe. They collect. Run this like intelligence work. Ask more questions than you answer. Keep plans vague. Keep timelines private. Use "I'm exploring options" as cover. Document everything. Messages, promises, patterns. Watch behavior, not claims. Track who benefits when you fail. Hyenas smile when prey limps. Ask yourself this question. Who knows too much about you right now? And what does that cost you? Next, you turn reputation into a war chest. You think reputation is vanity. Wrong. Reputation is pre-sold trust. It enters before you do. It negotiates while you sleep. If people perceive you as inconsistent, you die socially. Not instantly, slowly, like a soldier bleeding out in tall grass. Machiavelli understood perception as power. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand. Translation: they believe what they see repeated. Build a 3-trait brand. Pick 3 public traits: reliable, relentless, precise. Then force them with actions. Never miss deadlines. Under-promise, over-deliver. Cut sloppy habits like tumors. Do not gossip. Do not rant online. Do not associate publicly with clowns. Your circle is your uniform, and when someone stains your name, you don't whine. You respond with clean force. Correct the record once, then punish access. If your name is currency, why do you spend it on trash? Next comes the doctrine that makes you impossible to cage. You lose because you cling. You cling to the job. You cling to the friend group. You cling to the relationship. You cling to being liked. Clinging is the posture of prey. Predators don't cling. Predators reposition. Machiavelli's logic is brutal. Power belongs to whoever tolerates loss better. This is the final cut. You build the ability to leave, and the ability to leave makes you feared. Build exit muscle. Create options. Second income stream. Second network. Second skill stack. Never let one gatekeeper control your oxygen. Practice walking away weekly. Leave the pointless conversation. Decline the disrespectful request. End the negotiation when terms rot. Say this sentence and mean it. I can live without this. Count to 3. Watch what happens. Your posture changes. Your voice steadies. The room senses it. Predators hesitate when prey grows teeth. Stay until the end, because now you stitch all of this into one identity. You don't need a pep talk. You need a permanent internal law, because the real danger isn't failure. The real danger is becoming manageable, predictable, trainable, easy to steer with a compliment or a cold shoulder. And you already know that feeling. You walk into a room and you start adjusting. You scan faces like a medic hunting wounds. You offer warmth first. You offer effort first. You offer access first. Then you wonder why people treat you like a service. Why they forget you until they need you. Why your name appears only when there's work to dump. That pattern isn't fate. That pattern is design. And you've been designing it with your habits. So here's what changes now. Not in theory, in your behavior, in your timing, in your standards. You stop acting like value is something you receive. You act like value is something you deploy, like a unit you send in, like a blade you keep sharp, like a dosage you control. You don't chase appreciation. You create consequences. You build scarcity, not by playing games, by treating access like restricted airspace. You stop letting random people land on your time. You stop letting weak invitations set your schedule. You become hard to reach for anyone who hasn't earned it. And when they feel that absence, their brain fills the gap. That's psychology. That's projection. That's the vacuum effect. You don't beg to be noticed. You design a silence that forces attention. Then you use silence differently. Not as passivity, as pressure. You stop explaining your motives like you're on trial. You stop pleading your case. You stop over-talking when your nerves light up. You let cognitive dissonance do your dirty work. You stay calm where they expect collapse. You pause where they expect defense. You become unreadable on purpose. Because the person who can't be read can't be hearded. You've seen it happen. Somebody pokes you. They want the reaction. They want the emotional leak. They want the tell. You give them nothing. And suddenly they start talking more. They start justifying. They start exposing. They hang their own intentions in public. That is not confidence. That is technique. Now you add the third layer. Skill. Real skill. Not vibe. Not charisma. Not potential. One capability that makes you expensive. One capability that makes people adjust their tone because they know you can produce outcomes. Machiavelli isn't telling you to be loud. He's telling you to be unavoidable. And this is where most people fail. They want the social rank without the private discipline. They want the badge without the bruises. They want respect without receipts. You don't do that anymore. You pick your weapon skill. You train it like an operator. You track reps like ammo. You build proof until doubt looks stupid. Then comes the operation nobody wants. Emotional surgery. You stop making your feelings everyone else's steering wheel. You stop letting anger choose your words. You stop letting fear rush your decisions. You stop letting loneliness sign contracts you'll regret. This is shadow integration. You admit the part of you that wants control, the part that wants retaliation, the part that wants status. You don't pretend it isn't there. You don't moralize it away. You harness it. You discipline it. You make it serve your strategy instead of sabotaging it. Because the darkest truth is simple. If you stay pure and unskilled, you stay powerless, and powerless people become tools. Now you shift to information, because information asymmetry is modern royalty. You stop volunteering your plan. You stop narrating your next move. You stop telling people what you might do soon. You stop giving free previews to people who don't pay. You ask questions. You listen longer. You remember details. You track patterns across time. You stop trusting words. You start trusting behavior sequences. And here's the punchline. Most people aren't evil. They're opportunistic. They drift toward whatever benefits them. So you make sure proximity to you has rules, not vibes. Rules. Then you turn reputation into infrastructure, not image. Infrastructure. You treat your name like a passport. It either gets you through doors or gets you delayed at every checkpoint. So you become consistent, not perfect, consistent. You become the person whose yes means yes, whose no means no, whose deadlines don't slide, whose standards don't melt under pressure. You don't perform integrity. You mechanize it, because reliability is rare, and rare things carry price tags. Now the final layer, the one that ends the covert contract disease. You build exit power. You stop needing one person to approve you, one job to validate you, one circle to include you, one outcome to calm you. Need is a leash, and the world loves leashes. So you cut it the hard way. You create options, extra income stream, extra network, extra skill leverage. You make your life modular. So if someone tries to corner you, you don't bargain from panic. You don't bargain from hunger. You don't bargain from attachment. You stand up. You detach. You leave. And here's the question that decides your future. Do you want to be respected, or do you want to be convenient? Because convenience gets used. Respect gets negotiated with. So the consequence of doing nothing is obvious. You keep getting handled. Handled by flattery. Handled by guilt. Handled by you're overreacting. Handled by delays and half promises. Handled by people who sense you won't enforce anything. And the worst part? They call you dramatic when you finally wake up. That ends now. Ask yourself this. Surgical, not emotional. If you remain soft and unstrategic, who profits? Who gets your labor? Who gets your attention? Who gets your loyalty? Who gets your forgiveness on credit? Exactly. Now, 3 actions. Immediate. First, subscribe, because the next video teaches you how to spot manipulation cues fast, not red flags. Patterns. Second, hit like if you're done being managed. That click is a commitment device. You're training your own identity. Third, comment this line to seal the identity shift. Write, "I set the terms," then read it like an order. Because from this point forward, you don't ask to be valued. You don't hope to be respected. You don't wait to be chosen. You set the terms, or you walk. Now go. Move with policy. Operate with discipline.